I have a fun fact.
What?
Did you know that the song Monster Mash, the song we know as Monster Mash, is not the Monster Mash? The song that we know is talking about everybody dancing to a song called Monster Mash.
Huh?
Yeah. In the lyrics talk about like this, the mummy or the like Dracula was dancing to the Monster Mash. They did the mash. They did the Monster Mash. So there's some song in this universe called the Monster Mash that we don't know.
Dude, Monster Mashception.
Yeah. So it's called the Monster Mash because it's referring to a song that all of the Halloween characters are dancing to. There's a TikTok about it. I'll try and like link it.
Who is looking up Monster Mash lore? You're like, it's my TikTok. I'm the guy.
He's not the guy.
You're like pretending it's
I'm
not
the
you,
guy.
so you don't like, you're not embarrassed.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. The jack-o'-lantern. Welcome. I don't want to say welcome yet because the intro will roll, but if you can't tell what we are, do you want to tell them what we are for Halloween?
Listen. Sorry, my brain is not working like at all. Like everything you're saying is going into my brain and I'm just like just like listening to you. All right, I'm here, I'm present. Sorry, I'm really thinking about what I'm talking
Dude,
about.
oh my gosh.
Okay, for Halloween, McKay and I are both Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Because we were talking about what we wanted to be for Halloween, and we were like, what if we were like Dr. Doofenshmirtz and like Perry or Candace?
But we both really wanted to be Dr. Doofenshmirtz,
So we're both Dr. Doofenshmirtz. We ordered 2 white lab coats, and we ordered a little brown hat for KK, so he can be our little Agent K.
Yeah. So he could be like a dog, and then he could be like
KK the dog.
Yeah. All right.
Well, like I was saying earlier, this is our Halloween special. We have a lot cooked up for you. So
Special, you
Yeah.
could say.
So welcome to the Gallery Halloween special. So today we're doing a little bit different of a format because usually we have one topic that we just share with each other. But this time we're doing 6
15.
topics. What? We're doing 6
60.
topics. Can you stop it?
My favorite podcasts to listen to are those podcasts where everybody just like talks over each other.
Yeah, they interrupt each other.
And they all hate each
Yeah,
other.
they all hate each other.
And they all want to say
yeah.
things when the other
Yeah.
person is
Okay,
talking.
anyway.
Sorry. I'm stupid today.
So instead of just one topic each, we're doing 6 topics. 5, which is one from each of like the categories that we like to like feature on Gallery, which is film, video games, visual art, music, and literature. And then 1 which is our favorite like Halloween art of all time. I forgot to say that like all of them
All of them are a little spooky.
Yeah.
All of them are a little dark, fall-y,
Yeah.
autumn-y.
It's our favorite Halloween-y media.
Halloweeny.
It's our favorite Halloween media. It's our favorite Halloween art from each category.
Yeah.
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 So I say we just get into it because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to go? So should we just like switch off?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Which category?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that I chose one piece of art for every category, and it's Twilight.
It's 1,000 Years by that girl. Yeah. It's the cover art of New Moon. It's the Twilight game, if there's a Twilight game.
The Twilight dating sim.
Yeah.
The movies and the books.
Hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Yeah. Okay, no, it isn't actually that. You'd be surprised, though, because Twilight is, like, the best fall media in the world.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's
knows
so
that.
good. Can you talk? Can you go? I said it was good.
Sorry, I'm stupid today. Okay, I'm actually going to start with music.
Okay.
I think that there's going to be a lot of happy people out there, especially in our family, because I chose this album. I chose an album.
Oh, okay, an album. Great.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It is Billie Eilish's When We All... I can't see it again.
When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?
Exactly.
That's okay.
Exactly.
The only song I know on this one is, what do you want from me? What do you care for me? Why
are you singing it like that?
Because that's how she sings it. Tell me about it. Tell me about the album.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know, I think this is Billie Eilish's first studio album. She was like 17 when she made it. Dang. I know. And it was long awaited because she was like gaining popularity at this time, and she dropped it, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's super popular, which I think is really interesting because she does have like a wispy, like breathy voice and stuff. But go ahead.
Her voice, I don't know. Her voice is just like lends itself very well. Like, get you a girl who can do What Was I Made For with like this beautiful ballad and also like this creepy When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go. Very cool.
And so this album is very, very dark, and it has a lot to do with themes of like depression and like just like very, very dark subjects and stuff.
In kind of a twisted way.
In kind of a twisted way, yeah. And like drugs and stuff, and even one of the songs is like stay away from drugs. Like that's the point of one of the songs. Yeah, not do drugs.
My favorite Halloween theme.
Do drugs.
Don't wait. No. Wait.
But it's such a cool album because she has this like soft voice, and it's paired with almost like EDM, like some cool beats.
The bass in When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go is awesome.
Yeah.
And what's that song? And Burn?
That's a different album.
I know it's a different album, but it's got that bass.
Yeah, it's good. And so she films it. I mean, she records this with her brother Phineas, who does music as well. We all know that. Mm-hmm. And they just like together, they make some incredible music. And my favorite part of this music is, I mean, like you guys should know, we're not choosing like objectively the best like.
Yeah, these are our favorites.
These are our favorites from the categories that are kind of spooky.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite. I love listening to this album in like order and stuff. Like I'll do it when I'm on like drive, so when I'm like crying like in the car because it's so good. I love it so much because I feel like she utilizes sound design really well. Like in one of it, she talks about like a red-eye flight, and you can hear the flight attendant like bing, and she's like talking like in the background.
You've played that song for me, yeah. And that's on this album?
Yeah.
Cool.
And like in the background, she talks about like take me to the rooftops, and you can hear like the like police sirens, and you can hear the wind, and
so cool.
The like people chattering in the background. Like it is just like she creates these soundscapes with her music that are just it's so immersive. It's so exciting to be in, and that's why I like it so much. Yeah.
Immersive sound design.
Yeah.
And
she treats music like an experience instead of just like something you listen to in the car.
Something that I appreciate. I've been really picky with like music through the years, and I've just never latched onto one artist. And something that Camille has really helped me do is like pay attention to how music makes me feel rather than how it sounds. And that just like opened stuff up because now I listen to so much. That's why I have my 1930s album because it's just like, I don't know, like I start listening to it and I just get in this headscape of like, I don't know, like it's immersive. It's like I feel way more immersed in music when I focus on how it makes me feel. And that's really cool. And I feel like Billie Eilish is very good at that.
She's great at it.
Amazing.
If you want to feel a range of emotion, listen to the album and you'll feel like awesome and seductive and exciting, like in Bad Guy, which actually was inspired by Moriarty from Sherlock.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
Oh, no, wait, no. Wrong one. I'm a liar.
Oh.
I'm stupid today. Sorry, I don't know why. You Should See Me in a Crown. It's on that album. And that's inspired by Moriarty from Sherlock.
Wow. Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Dang, dude. Wow.
But like it's like stuff like that where you feel like awesome. And there's other songs where you're like Zanny, and it's like all my friends do drugs, and and that song itself is designed really well because it sounds like her audio pans from side to side, and it sounds like she's intoxicated somehow. And
one song that I think is a good example of this is Ocean Eyes.
It's not on the album.
It's not on the album, but
you're naming every other Billie Eilish song.
I know that's just because I've listened to like her different stuff, but right?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't like Ocean Eyes is very ambient and stuff.
She's great at it. We love Billie Eilish.
We really like Billie Eilish.
All hail.
All hail Billie Eilish.
Your music is Coco Melon.
What?
Huh?
You are stupid today.
What the heck?
You want me to do my music first?
Yeah.
That's actually a great segue, ambient music, because my song is a song called It's Just a Burning Memory.
Oh. Mm-hmm. It's from his 1930s playlist.
It's not.
Huh?
A song from my 1930s playlist is sampled in it.
Huh?
So what this is a song released in 2016 by The Caretaker. That's his name. That's his name. And it's part of an album called Everywhere at the End of Time. And it's this album that was released over it's 6 of these really long songs released over the course of 3 years, I think. And the purpose of the album is, these 6 studio albums, I don't know how many there are. I didn't do enough research, but these albums and these songs, they use really degrading samples of ballroom music to represent Alzheimer's and the slow burn that is Alzheimer's. Like the slow decline.
Oh.
And so the song that I'm speaking of is easily the most popular. It's called It's Just a Burning Memory, and it samples Heartaches, which is that Al Bowley song that's heartaches.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds jolly, and it was in The Shining.
Yeah.
But this song slows it down and makes it super echoey.
Whoa.
And it's been this song has been really popular with liminal space media.
Yeah.
And you just have to listen to it because you'll be talk about ambient tracks. This is just it makes you feel lost, and it's a really specific feeling that they capture with this song. And that's really all I have to say about it. It's spooky, it's cool, it's
one of those ones where you just you're in a different dimension.
Yeah,
you're
in
levitating.
the back rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It is a cool song. So that's my favorite little
awesome.
Spooky, scary Halloween song.
I have to listen to it.
It's weird to be it's a spooky, scary Halloween song because it's deals with something so serious, but it's just this empty sounding song, and it's really cool. It's Just a Burning Memory. That's the name of the song. Really cool.
I thought you were gonna do spooky, scary skeletons.
I almost did.
Really?
Just because that's it had a recent boom in popularity.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
It's fun.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
One time when we were dating, you sent me this YouTube video of a ghost duet.
Yeah.
The ghost
duet by Louis Zong.
These cute ghosts when it's a cute little duet.
Yeah.
And you were like, this reminds me of you. And I never forgot that.
Oh, I love you.
Every time I see it, I'm like, McKay loves me.
I love you. I know that song.
I know.
That song was a cute little lo-fi song.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You want to go next? What are you going to choose next?
Tell me what to do.
Why don't let's do our movies. Okay.
This is so fun.
Okay, what is it?
Okay. It is Hong Kong cinema.
Okay.
It is from 1985.
Okay.
And it is called Mr. Vampire.
Wait, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, you better, because I
about
love it.
Did you tell me about it?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Talk about it.
Let's see. It is a kung fu horror comedy.
What?
Yeah.
This sounds amazing. I'm adding it to my watch list right now.
It's so good. I loved watching it. I watched it in one of my history of film classes and stuff. And we go through all of this foreign film, and this was one of the ones he brought up for
Mr.
Hong Kong
Vampire, wow.
and stuff. And I found it so interesting, and I like it so much because it's so different from the Western idea of vampires. Like for us, a vampire would be
Dracula
has the long fangs and
blah blah blah,
everything like that. But a Hong Kong version of a vampire is more like a vampire zombie mix, and their things. They are called, I don't know how to say it, and I'm not going to embarrass myself. It's Jian-shu or something. Did I write it down? No.
If any Japanese listeners are watching, which I doubt.
Bully me online. And so they have long fingernails instead of long teeth, fangs.
Oh, interesting.
They've got long fingernails, and they stab you with their fingernails. And so that's why, sometimes you see, classic vampire portrayals, and they have got their fingers up, arched fingers, and they're coming towards you like that. And it's because they're gonna stab you with their fingernails,
dude,
not their
that
fangs.
There's that classic picture of Dracula where he's like that
with the fingernails. Yeah, because he's gonna get you with your fingernails. And then
Whoa.
they're like scared of their reflections. They can see themselves, but if you put a mirror in front of them, they'll get really scared.
Okay.
And instead of garlic, you have to like they're purified by sticky rice, like pure sticky rice.
That's
you know?
awesome.
And if you get like white rice in it and stuff, like it won't work. And so it has to be pure sticky rice. And
this is all set
so
forth
fun.
in the movie, Mr.
Yeah,
Vampire?
yeah. This is actually like kind of set up. Like if you don't understand this about like Hong Kong vampires, then
okay.
you'll be like, why are they jumping? Because they jump, by the way. They don't walk. They like hop towards you. And so they're like hopping vampires.
We gotta watch this.
It's just so entertaining. It's awesome. And it's just like it's very silly. It's very funny, but it's also scary. Like you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. And it's basically about this like kung fu master who like has a vampire and he's attacking everyone, and he has these two stupid like apprentices that like follow him around. And there's everything from like backflips off of walls and like people turning into vampires. Another thing about the vampires in this is that you have to hold your breath when they pass you by. And if you hold your breath, they won't see you.
Really?
And so there's a lot of gags on them like trying to hold their breath or like breathing through bamboo sticks so they hear the breath like on the other end of the bamboo stick.
Dude.
It is the funniest movie of all time. It is so fun. And it's so scary.
So what's your favorite thing about it?
I love how much like I genuinely enjoyed it. Like sitting there, I was on the edge of my seat, but I wasn't like terrified because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to scary movies. And I can appreciate a lot of horror in like cinema. Like I love horror as a genre and I really appreciate it. But it really scares
scary.
me. And I have like,
Too
I'm
scary.
a nightmare girl and I have nightmares for like a billion weeks after.
Dude, we saw Nope and you had nightmares not about the UFO but about the monkey.
The monkey was so scary. And like, remember that night after we watched it? Like, I would always like wake you up and I would be like, please stay awake with me. I don't want to be awake
You're like,
alone.
is the monkey in here? I'm like, no, dear.
It was so scary.
I love
Or
that
like
movie.
when I watched War of the Worlds for like the first time, that little like arm coming in and stuff.
The
Like
one
I
with-
dreamt about
the
that
one with-
forever.
Is it Matthew McConaughey that's in that one?
No. All I
No,
remember,
Tom Cruise.
All I remember were the alien arms, and then they put all the humans in the cages and stuff.
Yeah,
It
that
was
is the
so
one with Tom
scary.
Cruise. Is that Tom
It
Cruise?
was so
We'll look it up.
scary.
That one is scary.
I saw that as like a kid,
Dang, dude.
and it like traumatized me.
Why?
Anyway, Mr. Vampire.
How could you watch War of
Good
the
for the
Worlds but
kids.
not play Temple Run as a kid? Anyway, okay.
Yeah, that's a good. Jody. Explain. That's my mom's name. So that's my movie. We should watch it together because you'd love it.
Dude, the segues on this one are crazy. I'm
Really?
really glad that we talked about Nope.
Okay. No, it's so scary. Don't talk about it.
I'm not talking about
Okay.
Nope, but I am talking about a Jordan Peele film.
Get Out.
I'm talking about Get Out.
I knew you would.
Get Out is my favorite horror film next to The Shining
Mm-hmm.
because so Get Out is directed by Jordan Peele. If you don't know who Jordan Peele is, you probably do anyways because you know Key and Peele, you know the substitute teacher Balake Aaron thing? He's
Yeah,
the
dude,
kid
that was
goes,
everybody's personality in like middle school.
Yeah,
Everybody was
right.
like, "Hey,
It's like,
hey, Ron."
Ron. Yeah. Anyway, it's a
Sorry.
hilarious short. But the kid at the end, Timothy, who's like, in the second one, he's like, I have to go pick up my daughter. And
Yeah, yeah.
that is Jordan Peele. And that guy, who's a part of this comedy duo, went on to direct some of the most like poignant, like creepy, and like I can't think of a better word than poignant,
Yeah.
like horror films.
They're so well done.
And Get Out was his debut. So the plot is really cool because the plot is about this black man named Chris. And he's dating this white woman. And I say the races because it's important to the story. It is.
Yeah.
He's dating this white woman. You're laughing because you know how awful it is. You're like, yeah, that is important.
I had
Like,
nightmares about it.
yeah. So he's dating this white woman and they go and visit her white family. And weird things are going on. And you later find out that all of these like rich white people come over to like visit this family. They have this like lunch party. And this white family has this like, I don't want to call it a business, but it's like this program where they like capture black people and the white people like auction to like buy the black people. And then they perform surgery where they put the white people's brains in the black people so the white people can like live forever. That's a really, really basic bare bones summary of the plot. And if that sounds bad and racist, it is.
'Cause it is.
It is. It's a huge commentary on race and like taking advantage of another person's skin color. So you have this gripping horror film that is funny. It says really great messages about race, and it's just so good. So my favorite thing about it is why it's scary, because it could be like not a horror movie. It could be like, if you like did it differently, you wouldn't need to make it like scary.
Yeah.
But Jordan Peele, rather than like jump scares and like classic horror like elements like slashers and like, although there are some of that at the end of the film, it's more about like disturbing ideas.
Dude, that one part, like I always like sit and think about that one part where that old guy is like, it's at night and that
He's
old guy's
running,
like
he's
running straight
towards,
at him, and he's like, oh.
He's like, ugh. But
that would scare me so bad.
Yeah, but the way that Jordan Peele like lines like little clues up throughout the movie, and then that auction scene where everything like you're like, oh my gosh, that's what's happening, and then the ball just keeps rolling, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have never like thought of this like being possible, like to be shown in like a film.
Yeah.
And like you just think of the idea of it and what they're doing in the movie, and that's what's scary. That's the horror part, is you're just like, you feel, you're like, ugh, what a twisted idea. But it ends up in just a beautiful artistic film that has a lot of great stuff to say for like race, for like social messages, and for horror.
And it's Camille approved. I didn't have
approved.
A lot of nightmares after that one. Only a couple.
I would say that like anybody could watch it, like 18 and up. Like
Yeah.
I would say that it's like a great like entry level horror.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's awesome.
It's really good.
So, yeah, Get Out.
Jordan Peele is amazing because that being a debut film,
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park.
Blows my mind.
He knocked it out of the park. And every film, although I didn't like Us, his second film, as much as Get Out or Nope, all of them are really strong.
Seriously.
Jordan Peele is just, I mean, I feel like he's like the male Greta Gerwig, where like he just kind of like gets it and like kind of kills it every single time.
Like a young director.
Yeah, like a young director with great ideas. Anyway,
great.
That's Get Out. Amazing horror film.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's awesome.
Approved.
Okay, what do we do next? Why don't you choose the next topic?
Let's do games.
Okay, games.
You go first this time.
All right. We've talked about a lot of twisted stuff.
You're doing Last of Us.
No.
You're doing Five Nights at Freddy's.
No.
Oh, wait. Have we told them about what happened to us at Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, we talked about it in the last episode.
We tried one night. We got too scared. We couldn't play it. That's how scared we are.
So this is still a very Halloween-y game. It might not come to mind when you think Halloween.
Halloween-y.
Stop.
Sorry. Stupid
Weenie.
today.
Dude, we've talked about Get Out. We've talked about Billie Eilish, really twisted, dark stuff. But my game is Plants vs. Zombies.
Of course it is.
So really the only thing Halloween-y about this is the zombie part.
Weenie.
But stop. You gotta stop.
Stop saying that then.
Halloween-y.
Sorry.
What do I say instead? Halloweenish. Spooky. Okay, the only part of this game that has to do with Halloween is the zombies.
Yeah.
So this is it's got a really cute art style. It's got bright, vibrant colors, very cute character designs.
No. I had nightmares about them.
You had nightmares about Plants vs. Zombies too?
I played it as a kid and I'm like, dang, the zombies are going to get my house. Gotta get a pea shooter or something.
You can't have anyways.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Thank you. I think they're fun character designs, but apparently it's too it's rated like E for everyone, I'm pretty sure, but it's a little too...
everyone except Camille.
E for except Camille.
Yeah.
So it's a 2009 tower defense game. So you are not moving a character. What it is you have like a lawn, like a yard, and there are zombies. It's like divided into like a grid, and there are like 5 lanes, and you have to place. So I'm getting ahead of myself. There are zombies slowly walking towards your house, and if they reach the house, you lose. But you have a wide selection of these special plants that do all these different things to try and stop the zombies. You have pea shooters that like are kind of your main like gun item. They shoot like peas at the zombies. And so the game is so addictive because it is constantly introducing, it'll give you a new cool plant, and then immediately in the next level, it'll give you a super hard zombie that can be beaten by that plant you got. So like every time a new zombie is introduced, you're given the tools to take care of it. And so it's this constant. So as the game progresses and progresses, it gets more and more complex because you have all of these zombies that do these different things to your plants. They move around in different ways. And you have plants that shoot different projectiles. They do different things to the zombies. And so further into the game, you really have to strategize and think, okay, you get to see the zombies that are coming towards your house before you start the level. And you just have to be like, okay, what plants, what do I need to like combat these zombies? Like, how can I choose like a plant that'll take care of this type of zombie? And it's kind of perfect. I can't think of a lot of flaws with the game. It's kind of short, but it is so polished, and I've never played anything like it. And the Plants vs. Zombies series has never been the same because they did a sequel, and then they did another one, and then they did like a first-person shooter spin-off version, and I don't know. Then EA bought it, and it was all downhill because EA. But anyway, I love Plants vs. Zombies, and I think my favorite thing about it is it's just like nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I played it a bunch as a kid. It was my favorite game for a while, and it's the game that like my family played a bunch together. So I love Plants vs. Zombies, and I love playing it around Halloween time. The zombies are super fun. So I did a lot of talking. Do you have any thoughts?
Yes, I think the football player zombie is really sexy.
I agree. Do you have anything else to say?
Oh, yeah. You're like talking.
That silence spoke volumes.
You're like talking about like you have to have a specific plant for each specific zombie.
Your entire
and
head
I'm
is
just
like,
the football player zombie. He's got his little hand out.
What?
He could push me over any day.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I like Plants vs. Zombies.
Cool. That's it. Yeah, that's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, what's your game?
You had a good explanation there, though.
Thank you.
Okay. On to my video game.
What is it?
Well, this was really hard for me because I was stuck between two. One, I'm not going to explain, so I won't.
Okay.
That's all. I'm just kidding. Oh, God, that's my video game. I was going to talk about Howling Dogs.
Okay.
And it's very niche. It's very like
yeah. If you don't know what
different.
Howling Dogs is, it's like, you want to explain it?
Yeah. It's like it's a black screen with white text. It's a text-based journey video game
choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah. And you can only progress through the story when you click on the bolded words. And sometimes there's multiple bolded words, and sometimes they're all over the page. And it's just a really cool experience. And so I would definitely highly recommend it. We'll link it in the bio. It's just creepy and beautifully written. And everyone should play Howling Dogs at some point in their life.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very long. So play that.
That is not your game.
That's not that one. Everybody should do it. But
I just thought that we should talk about it because Howling Dogs is awesome.
It's so good.
It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Everyone should play it.
Yeah.
But the one I want to talk about was Inside.
Oh, Inside is awesome. I think it was nominated for Game of the Year in 2016.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I know what happens in the ending, even though I haven't played the whole thing. I played a good chunk of it. The ending is great.
I know.
Okay, talk about it.
So,
because I don't have much to say. I haven't played it that much.
I like games with little funny art styles, and that's the reason why I looked at Limbo and Inside. I like puzzle games. I just like games that look like that, and I was like, okay, I'll play this. And McKay and I know we played like the first half together, and then it was when we were dating.
You played it by yourself for a while, and you were like, McKay, you gotta try this game out.
I was like, look. And it's such a cool game. You play as basically like this like little boy, and you're like running around and stuff. And there's like not a lot of dialogue, if any. I haven't played it in a long time, but what is so striking about it is that it's like almost body horror, like later on in the game, which was my favorite part. Like as
what happens?
Well, first, as you're going through the game, you're going through like this dark forest and this city and everything like that. And a lot of the times you don't interact with things, but you see it happening in the background. Like you see a ton of people like marching in like slave lines basically in the city, and you're chased by like people in cars in the beginning in the forest. Like you can tell that like you're being hunted, and there's something happening in some sort of dystopian way in the background, and you're never really told what's happening, but it seems like some kind of apocalypse or war or genocide thing. Something's happening, and it's really scary.
It's amazing. It's storytelling. Yeah. It's amazing to show, don't tell.
Visual storytelling
within the medium
insane.
Of video games.
And there's just some terrifying parts of the game where you're like swimming and something's after you and it like comes and gets you and
I
stuff.
remember those parts.
It's really hard and so scary. And like it really would put you on edge. Like I know there's a lot of video games out there that will put you on edge, like Silent Hill and like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff that are like truly terrifying. Yeah.
Resident Evil 4.
But this was one of those games that I loved because it just totally drew me in. Mm-hmm. And there's parts of the video game where you're inside this facility with these people who are being controlled or enslaved or something.
Yeah.
And like,
man, so much is coming back to my memory.
Yeah. There's this one part where you have to stand in a line of these like slave people, and you have to like walk the same pace as they do and stop when they do. And like there's like people watching, and if you don't, you get like caught and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so scary. And then at the very end, what I'm talking about with body horror is that you have to use like these little slave people and control them, and like you have to like pile them up sometimes and like put them on like weights that open other puzzles.
It's
in the end, this is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you just skip ahead a couple seconds if you don't want to hear it, but in the end, like you end up with these like little slave people. They get like mushed together, and you're just a ball of arms and flesh, and you kind of roll around. It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And when I was playing it, I was like, oh, this is horrible. It's awesome.
Man. It is like, it takes advantage of the medium of video games really well. And I would say that like if you had to make me choose games that were like to prove that video games are an art form, Inside is like one of the top.
Seriously.
It's so cool.
And there's like, with video games and horror, there's so much to say, but there's something so visceral about choosing things that are just disgusting, and you don't want to be a part of it, and you want to look away from the screen, but you're controlling the characters, so you can't.
So interesting.
Oh, there's so much to say about it, but that's my favorite one. Inside.
Love it. What a great game.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would choose Inside.
Yeah.
What a cool game.
It's so good.
Inside is awesome.
I have yet to play Limbo. It's on my list.
Yeah. Isn't it in your Steam library?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Inside was inspired by Limbo, which is why I got Limbo.
They're by the same people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
Okay.
You do something.
Let's talk about our art first.
Okay.
My visual art is a painting by Vincent van Gogh. My favorite painter.
Skeleton smoking the cigar.
No, it's not. It is, I hate to be boring because this is it's not boring, it's cool.
It's the potato eaters.
No. It's
the real scare poverty.
That's the real horror. Oh my gosh. That was funny.
The real horror, eating potatoes.
Being in a basement and being called the Potato Eaters by Vincent van Gogh. My visual art is this painting. And it's just it says boo in the sky. No. This is a painting by Vincent van Gogh. It's just called The Autumn Landscape. And it's a beautiful autumn landscape. It's just, I kid you not, it's grass, trees, and sky. But I think I was making like a PowerPoint for like like a family PowerPoint night, and I was looking for art by Vincent van Gogh, and I saw this one, and there's something so serene about it. I love the way that these. Oh, is it falling over? Sorry, our set's falling apart.
It's the vibes of the painting.
It's the ghost.
Yeah.
This painting is so serene. It's so if you want to, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to like imbue like a sense of calmness from your painting.
You're so sexy when you use big words.
Oh, imbue.
Sorry, huh? Yeah.
If you want to imbue,
Imbue.
like a feeling of calmness from your painting, you use horizontal lines.
Huh.
And there's so many horizontal lines in the sky, and of course the ground is all horizontal. And then you have these beautiful vertical trees, which kind of creates this sense of order and repetition. And it's just nice to look at. It's great composition. You have this kind of bunch of trees right here that you can tell are kind of secluded from the rest of the trees. And I don't know, man, it tells a bit of a narrative because you can see like there's some distance back here. You know, there's a path that goes back there and there's birds. It's so serene. It represents that kind of calm, warm fall.
Yeah.
That is just so beautiful. I mean, I feel like this is like one of those days where you can go out, one of those like fall days where you can go out in a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of enjoy.
You can see the blue skies back there.
Yeah.
And, oh, man.
And the way that Van Gogh and his color usage, but you also know Van Gogh and his amount of paint usage. And you can just see the texture. You can tell that he's like hitting his brush against the canvas.
He's using that paint.
So
that's beautiful, McKay.
Yeah.
Even another way to look at this painting is it could be a little scary. Like it could be the birds flying away. And like, I don't know, this line seems so dark in there. Like audio listeners, you're going to have to look up this painting because it truly is. It's serene, but also it's hiding something.
Yeah. I'll put it as the episode art so you can just look at like your phone if you're listening on Spotify.
One of those paintings that people, like if they saw this in the DI, they would draw a little ghost on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then they'd be like, oh no, it was Van Gogh.
Because it's really not one of the most, if like you saw this, you'd be like, that's not Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have any of his stylistic stuff at all. I don't know when this was painted exactly. It might have been early on, but I love that you added that it was kind of scary.
It does look
you said that and I looked at it and I was like, oh, it is kind of scary.
Like, yeah.
There's
now
something,
it's scary.
There's something kind of ominous about it.
If you had this framed and I saw it in daytime, I would be like, that's beautiful. And if I saw it at nighttime, I would be like, I'm a little scared.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The duality of visual art.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Beautiful, McKay. Thank you.
Your turn.
Okay. I'll use your iPad. Oh, I just zoom into your painting.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is an artist that I found on Instagram.
Yes. These are the best.
And
I was going to talk about an Instagram artist, but
I think she's an amazing artist.
Who is
and
it?
I'm really or they, I don't know pronouns, but they're an amazing artist, and just the work that they put out and the emotion and the animalistic art behind it's just so cool. And so I'm going to say all of the names wrong here, but it's called.
Is it up? Can I turn the iPad?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I've shown it to you before.
I think I've seen this.
It's Suzitse Art, and their name is Essie Valimaki. I don't know how to say any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay.
And so what she does is I keep saying
really quick, audio listeners, this is an image of two. It's very bright and saturated. It's two wolves tied together. One is red and seething and angry and kind of insane looking, and one is weeping.
And so the blue one's weeping and all sad, and they call themselves an illustrator and a comic artist, and it's because a lot of their art comes in like frames or panels, and their stories.
Okay.
And so this one says, the sad wolf says, "I'm sad because of your hatred," and the red wolf says, "I'm hateful because of your sadness."
This continual like shift.
And then the next panel says, it's them together again, and it says, "Good grief, how much I despise you." And it's both of them saying it at the same time.
And they're literally physically tied together.
Like their fur is tied together. You can see
their fur in a knot.
And I just think like all of her art looks like this. It's very intense, and all of the wolves that she draws, like she mostly draws like wolves and animals and sheep and stuff. And they're all like mutilated or falling apart or tied together and
so
stuff
it seems like you
that.
picked kind of a tame
kind
of a tame picture.
I included some other examples here.
You want to swipe?
Yeah, let me show you.
Wow, very cool.
I know.
I have a lot to say.
Here's another one of my favorite ones.
Whoa, that's my favorite one so far.
Audio listeners, this is a black wolf, and through the eyes, you can kind of see like an X-ray vision. The eyes have this like all this like red, scary hands and eyes and snarling wolves coming in through the eyes, and then inside the mind is just this little blue lamb, and it's all coming through there. And it's just like this idea of what you're seeing is scaring that lamb inside of you.
Interesting.
Kind of
Ooh.
And I love their artwork because it's just so like deep, and it's such a good visual representation of like mental health issues and like the darkness and the loneliness and the hurt and the anger that can be inside of people. And they create it in such a way that's totally like visible. Like you can see the pain, you can see the how upset the wolf is and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing how. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're
but
good.
It's amazing how expressive these wolves are.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, this person has very like a beautiful use of line.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite thing is the way that. First off, this is digital art, which is awesome. Digital art is so viable, and I'm glad that you picked some digital art. The eye of the red angry wolf is just like pure orange and then a dot, and it just really like illustrates well that enraged insanity. And in these ones, her use of their use of contrast is really cool. You've got this black wolf and then this pure white lamb. Very cool.
It's very
awesome.
Cool. It's
Dang,
very, very
I was
cool.
not expecting you to pick that.
It's one of my favorites because I think I stumbled across them like on Pinterest or Instagram or whatever. I follow them on Instagram, and every time I see their art, I just feel connected to them and connected to this community of people that are really hurt sometimes.
Huh.
And the idea of there being visual art out there that connects to that part of you that is terrified, or it's like fighting against yourself in a way, it is so profound.
What a unique pick.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more categories left. We have our literature, and then we have our favorite of all time.
Mm-hmm.
At like any category. So I think it's your turn to go first. Talk about your book.
Okay.
Or what, or literature or whatever.
I guess what I'm doing.
No. Is it a book or is it like a poem?
It's a short story.
Is it The Lottery?
Yeah.
Yes, dude, I guessed this earlier. The Lottery's awesome.
So
this is
cool.
this is a weird, scary story. Are you gonna read it or just
No.
Okay.
But this
we already did that last episode.
Yeah, this is one of the most famous short stories of all time. Like, if you haven't heard of The Lottery, then did you go to school?
No.
You didn't go to school.
Played Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah. But just as a brief description, I'll read the synopsis.
Sure.
The lottery takes place on June 27th, a beautiful summer's day, in a small New England village where all the residents are gathering for their traditional annual lottery. Though the event first appears festive, it soon becomes clear that no one wants to win the lottery. Tussie Hutchinson seems unconcerned about the tradition until her family draws the dreaded mark. Then she protests that the process wasn't fair. The winner, it turns out, will be stoned to death by the remaining residents. Tussie wins, and the story closes as the villagers, including her own family members, begin to throw rocks at her.
Insane. And that's like the whole story.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, go ahead. I don't want to explain the whole thing.
I chose it, and I really like it because you're like leading up to this, you know something's wrong as you read it. It's I love short stories because they're just so powerful. They can like pack a punch. And you read it and you know something's weird about the lottery, just a little bit. And then when you finally get to the part where you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to stone her to death. You're like, wait. Like,
because it doesn't say anything about it, the whole story.
Yeah, and suddenly you're like, huh? Like, this is allowed? They allow this to happen? This is a tradition? This is something that they willingly participate in? It is like...
And then it ends.
You
don't get anything else. Yeah.
And why I like it so much is because I feel like when media, I feel this way about The Last of Us too. When media has something really scary, it's like, oh yeah, that's scary. But when the scary thing is humans, or when it's like mob violence or the like traditions that can be like harmful and stuff that are perpetuated by generations.
Kind of like Get Out a little bit. Yeah.
That's the true horror.
Yeah.
And just like the capability of other people to hurt other people, that's what scares me. And so when I saw like War of the Worlds, the aliens were really scary. But what really scared me was when the mob gangs up on them and they're beating on the car doors, like trying to get in the car.
Same thing with Jordan Peele's Nope. Like the scary, like the big UFOs there. But what really is horrifying is humans' fascination with watching horrible things happen.
Or like trying to tame like the UFO and like make it like a spectacle.
It's almost like humans are the real monsters, right?
That's crazy.
Dude.
But I love it. And if you haven't read it, it's a short read. And I really did spoil it just now, so I'm sorry. But read it if you have a chance. It's so good.
Who's it by? Do you know the author?
Shirley Jackson.
Shirley Jackson. Cool.
You could just find a PDF anywhere.
Great. My book is in the, quote, old guy whose wife dies and goes on a journey with a young companion genre, which is
everything.
God of War, Up, The Last of Us. Well, I guess The Last of Us, his daughter dies, but old guy who has a loved one that dies and then goes on a journey with a young person. Klaus is a good example. Hunt for the Wilder People. Anyway, it is The Road.
The Road.
The Road by Cormac McCarthy, which is right here on our set.
Yeah.
Wow. So I am reading The Road by myself, but I first quote read it when you read it to me while on a drive home. I was driving and she had the book and you read it to me. Same thing as an audiobook.
Well, okay, listen, the only reason I started reading it to McKay was because I would like read something just utterly traumatic and I would be like, "Oh my gosh, you'll never guess what's happening in my book." And I'd like explain it to him and he would be like, "What are you reading?"
And then eventually like it's like the book was like she was reading silently and all I could think about was like what she had read and I was like, I turned off the music, I'm like, start reading aloud. I need to hear this. So I've started to read the whole thing and wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so here's the plot. The plot is old guy whose wife dies and then he goes on a journey with a young companion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a father and son. They're in this post-apocalyptic world.
Mm-hmm.
But the amazing thing about The Road is, I'll touch on this later because I want to talk about the plot first, but something happened. They're in this ash-covered, dead world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the United States, and they realize that they cannot survive the winter where they are, so they start traveling south to where it's going to be warmer. And along the way, they find like cannibals and these things called blood cults, and they meet up with you know marauders who try and capture them. Their stuff gets stolen, and it is just drab, like not drab, like not drab in a bad way, but it is dark and brooding and sinister and just dead.
It's for that one. I feel like it's the unknown that's the scariest part.
I'm glad you said that because that's why like there's a film adaptation of The Road, and I admittedly would love to make my own film adaptation of The Road, but have it be animated, of course. But this book is perfect as a book because it's what you don't see that's so scary. This book gives you, it doesn't even tell you what the characters look like or their names. Yeah. It doesn't tell you what happened, what kind of post-apocalyptic thing. You can only assume, and that is, it's a monkeypox type of horror. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what that kind of horror is, read The Monkey's Paw. But basically, you have no idea what happened, and you can only imagine these horrible things that they're seeing. And that's why it's so scary, is because they're making this journey across this dead America, and you have no idea what they're going to run into. And it's the unknown that's so scary. Mm-hmm. But what I like about it is, despite it being so like horrifying, it is one of the like most uplifting stories as well. Because constantly the boy and the dad and the boy are constantly talking about how they're the good guys and they are carrying the fire. Mm-hmm. You don't know what that is. It's just a phrase that they always say, we got to keep going. We're carrying the fire. And every bad situation that they get into, they get out of. They end up victorious at every turn, and they even find eventually they find a bunker full of food and supplies. And spoilers, so skip a few ahead of it. The man dies peacefully next to his son. He doesn't get killed or no apocalyptic things happen to him. He dies peacefully. The boy goes off alone, and then moments later, the boy is found by a nice man and his family, we can assume. So, there's themes of morality of, their stuff gets stolen, and how do they treat the guy who stole their stuff? Because they're just trying to survive too. But there's a real semblance of hope in this book that kind of keeps you going just as much as the unknown does.
There's something so real about that book. And it's written in such a beautiful way. Cormac McCarthy does an amazing
Rest
job.
in peace. May he rest in peace.
And a weird little thing about this book is that Cormac doesn't use dialogue quotes. It's all just in line, and it's all a part of just this experience that he's writing out for you to see with him somehow. It's so visual.
It's
despite
amazing.
It being a book. It's
wow.
Oh.
It might be my favorite book right now. And admittedly, I need to read more books, but it is, man, there's something about it. But
definitely recommend reading that.
read it.
Oh yeah. It's hard.
It's pretty disturbing.
It's hard.
Though.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, read this amazing book. Oh wait, there's
wait a second,
cannibals
maybe,
and awful stuff.
It's a dead baby. Yeah.
But it's anyway.
Oh man.
Okay. Wow.
Great pick.
Whew.
Great pick.
That is all 5 of our favorite things from our categories. We got Billie Eilish. We got Plants vs. Zombies. Inside. Wolf Guy on Instagram. Vincent Van Gogh. We got Jordan Peele. We got It's Just a Burning Memory. We got so much. And we got what was your film?
Mr. Vampire.
Mr. Vampire.
I was gonna add to the things you were saying, but I couldn't remember one thing I talked about. So
hey, that's okay.
Thanks.
Cool.
Cool.
So cool.
Cool.
A lot to unpack, but I mean, Halloween and horror and spooky things there's so many hats. There's so many ways to be scared or to be spooked.
And the way that Halloween media can go from Hubie Halloween with Adam Sandler and stuff to things as deep and as visceral as The Road is so fun to me.
And it's all valid. It's all so fun.
Yeah.
Let's
get on to our favorites.
Let's get on to our favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Mine is a bit of a stretch.
Coraline.
It's not Coraline. Is that yours?
Well, no, I'm scared.
Coraline is freaking awesome.
I'm so scared of Coraline. I know.
You should be.
Everybody's
it's
gonna get mad at me,
horrifying.
but
no, it's horrifying.
No, I need this.
Oh, you need this?
Yeah.
Is it visual art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gimme.
Hold on. Let me turn the brightness down.
When can I have an iPad? Buy me an iPad.
Me no have money.
Oh yeah.
All right. Pull up your visual art. Okay, so this visual art is Camille's favorite of all time. Dang, there might be too much art to put on the cover. You might have to look the art up yourself, but
that's all right.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. My favorite spooky art of all time.
Okay.
Is an artist called Boris Groh.
Say it again.
Boris Groh. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He's awesome.
Show me his stuff.
He's really cool.
Ooh.
Turn up your brightness there.
Whoa.
So you can see it.
That is whoa.
He does oils. And
he does.
He does.
Oh, that is so cool.
Huge skeletons. We're gonna have to swipe. Huge skeletons just doing huge skeleton things.
His colors. Oh my goodness.
I know. They're beautiful.
Did he do that too?
Yeah, he did.
Whoa.
And he did that one. And so.
Okay, I'm so sorry, audio listeners.
Yeah. We're like, wow, this is great.
These are these beautiful, very colorful and vibrant oil pastels of giant. Not oil pastels, oil paints of giant skeletons and giant creatures. Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
They're scary. If you look up his drawings, some of them are pretty scary.
What's his name?
Boris Groh.
Boris Groh. Look him up.
Like a Groh.
Okay.
And
man,
they're named such funny things. They're named Winter Sunrise.
That one is Winter Sunrise?
One's Winter Sunrise. This is View from the Window. This is The Sky on the Roof. And some
Just
of
nice
them are
little
like,
names.
yeah, some of them are like chickens or whatever. And it's like a bunch of like huge, ginormous skeletons like eating boats. And it's awesome.
Dude, that's so cool. That's my favorite one.
Yeah. And so what I like about it so much is that I am a huge like oil on canvas lover, dude. I love oil on canvas. And I love cloud paintings. I love paintings that are beautiful and serene and like they exemplify nature in like with art and stuff. And I think he does such a good job at creating these beautiful like landscape portraits or cityscapes and including this like ginormous scary monster in it.
Yeah.
Just doing its thing. Like there's one where this guy is just looking at a ginormous skeleton eating a boat off in the distance.
There's one where it's this just nice, beautiful neighborhood. You can see the silhouette of like power lines in a church building, and it's this gorgeous sunset. And then there are these two lanky, gigantic like figures
Like
just looking
at you.
the camera.
Yeah.
The camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
so
that is awesome.
I just love it. I feel like it's so good to look at. It's so creepy, but it's not like terrifying.
The colors are incredible. Are you sure this is oil? This one might be digital.
Some of them are digital. Some of them are
one's
oil.
digital. Cool. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. I don't have much to say other than they look amazing.
They're awesome.
Look them up.
We'll link them. We'll link everything. But it's a lot of fun. And I'd highly suggest looking at his other art because he has a lot more than this, and it's really cool stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh man, mine is a bit of a stretch. It's not. You wouldn't consider a Halloween, but it has zombies and aliens in it.
It's zombies versus aliens.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Monsters versus Aliens?
Oh.
That's a DreamWorks film that has Seth Rogen in it.
It has Seth Rogen in it?
Yeah, he's the blue guy. Okay, mine. My favorite, like, spooky kind of horror piece of art is a video game.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's Half-Life.
I
love
do we have to wear these ridiculous ties?
We were going to be Black Mesa scientists for Halloween, but Camille said no because nobody would know what we are.
Am I wrong?
No. So Half-Life is I don't even need research because I love this game. I have like 1,000 hours. Yeah, put away the notes. Half-Life is a 1998 first-person shooter that kind of revolutionized the genre in kind of the way that Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time did.
Mm-hmm.
By, Doom, like instead of Doom being like you shoot aliens in these random metal corridors and you pick up blue, it's like very like video gamey.
Doom is awesome.
Doom is awesome. But Half-Life put it in a real spooky setting. And basically the plot is these scientists are messing around with things that they probably shouldn't. And they see they're basically experimenting with portal technology and activating this crystal from this other world. When they activate the crystal, it creates these huge rifts in like the dimension or whatever. It opens these portals and it brings these alien creatures that are being puppeted by a different alien race that you'll find out about in the second game, to Earth. And basically what you have to do is you're this scientist in this hazard suit named Gordon Freeman.
He must be the buffest scientist of all time.
Dude, the things you got to do in this game. But you're this scientist in a hazard suit and you have to fight your way through aliens, through the military who are assigned to like kill all the witnesses.
Yeah.
And you have to get to the surface and eventually go into the alien world. And there's just so much that isn't told to you. Basically, so the coolest thing about Half-Life is that there's no cutscenes. You know in games when like it'll cut away to like a movie that kind of tells you what's happening? That doesn't happen in Half-Life. You are an active participant in everything going on.
Or an inactive participant.
Yeah, you can totally just run past the things happening, or you can go talk to the scientists and they'll be like,
why do we have to wear these ridiculous ties?
No, they'll be like, oh, we shouldn't have done this. We tried to warn them. Why wouldn't they listen?
They'll say, Gordon, you're late to the testing chamber.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And so you're an active participant. All of these things are happening in real time. There are all these different scenes happening in real time. And it was so revolutionary. And it's like my second favorite game of all time. It's amazing. Go play
awesome.
Half-Life. It's $10 on Steam. It'll run on anything.
Not Mac.
No, it'll run. Oh, yeah, it's true.
I like Half-Life so much because it has the man in the blue suit who's just like watching you sometimes. And it was so fun as like a first time player. I haven't finished the game, it's too hard. But as a first-time player, like going through the levels and stuff and seeing him like behind glass and being like, let me talk to him. Like, who is
Yeah,
he?
and
What
he
is
just
he
like
doing?
he watches you and he just adjusts his tie and
like
walks
walks
off.
away. Tell me
Yeah.
who he is.
I don't know who he, dude. I don't know who he is.
Don't
honestly.
say that.
He's called the G-Man. He's in every Half-Life game.
The scariest thing is the unknown.
The scariest thing is the unknown. Watch Over the Garden Wall.
That came out of nowhere.
Thought
But
I'd just
I mean,
say that.
yeah, I mean,
Watch
yeah.
it. Anyway. Happy Halloween. Eat some candy.
Don't get too scared.
Stay safe.
Don't get too scared.
If you don't celebrate, then put on a scary movie or something to
No nightmares, though.
No nightmares though. Maybe watch
Life
SpongeBob
in a
instead.
Dream House.
Maybe watch Bluey. Anyway, follow us on our socials.
Kiss us on the mouth.
Kiss what?
Huh?
Gallery_podcast on everything, and
Send us your scary recommendations, but
Yeah.
not too scary because I'm a baby.
Yeah, and let us know like what's your favorite Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Bye.